Hi everyone, so today I'm going to be answering a common question I get on my channel all the time, and it's all about gerbil tails, and I'm just going to quickly talk to you about why it's important to handle your gerbil correctly and be careful, and why we can't handle them by their tails. So a lot of people are confused about this. I always get questions about this. Sometimes I get people being a bit kind of nasty about gerbil tails on some of my older videos about handling gerbils and how we should be careful around gerbils tails. I get a lot of comments saying that I'm wrong and gerbils are fine to be held by their tails and it's not cruel, and people saying that their tails won't fall off. I've also had someone saying that it's an opinion whether their tail falls off, and basically it's not an opinion. It's definitely not my opinion. It's completely incorrect to be holding your gerbil by the tail. It causes a lot of health problems and problems in the long run, and in fact their tails do fall off. So when a gerbil's tail falls off, we usually call it tail slip, and it's commonly seen in gerbils that have been attacked by a predator maybe, or usually, and the most common way, is due to poor handling and people just not knowing that they can't hold them by their tails. So if this happens, it can become more severe. It can cause rotting of the tail, it can cause problems. Sometimes it can't, sometimes they never grow back, but sometimes it does heal up quite nicely. But if this does ever happen, then you need to take your gerbils to the vet immediately, because there's no other way. The vet's not going to be able to fix it, but the vet will be able to maybe give some pain relief to the gerbil, or help it, give it something to help it to heal. So the symptoms of this are usually a loss of fur on the tail. It might just be the tip of the tail. It can be slipping of the skin on the affected area of the tail. It can be exposure of underlying tissue on the tail, and it can be rotting of the tail tissue. So basically the reason why their kind of tail falls off is because it is their defense system in the wild. So if there was a lizard or a bird trying to grab them, the place that they would grab them first would be their tail, because obviously the gerbil will be running away and they've got their tail dragging behind. So once they are picked up by the tail, their system is to basically, the tail drops off so that the predator will be carrying the tail away and the gerbil will be safe. It's a defense mechanism which happens in the wild, and it happens when they're under attack and under threat, life-threatening conditions basically. So that's not something you want happening to your pet gerbil, who should never feel that way and should never be in a life-threatening condition, so that they feel that. Obviously they don't get a choice in it, it just happens, but their tail shouldn't be coming off because they're in that situation. It shouldn't happen, and the way to get around this is basically just to handle them properly and be careful with them, and that is the way around it. So usually the whole tail won't come off, like I've already mentioned. The tip of the tail usually comes off, and it's kind of the skin around the tail that comes off rather than the actual bone and muscle of the tail. It's just the skin and fur, of course, and it's just not a nice thing to happen or to see. And the first thing obviously you need to do, if this ever happens, which hopefully it won't and shouldn't, you need to go to a vet like I've already mentioned, but you can also place your gerbil in a clean tank, and the uncovered part of the tail will dry and fall off, but it won't grow back like I've already mentioned. So do that and make sure you get them to your vets as soon as possible. Okay, so I've just got Chip in my hands and I'm going to try and carefully show you his tail. It's actually a really strong part of a gerbil's body. They use it a lot, they use it for balance, and it's not what you'd expect a kind of tail of a pet to be. It's much thicker and much stronger on a gerbil. I don't know if you can tell, but you can see the fur there, and it's so sensitive. It's a sensitive part of their body, so you need to be really, really careful. And it's something they value a lot. They use their tails so much, and you will see their tails being used, especially when you hold them. You can see their tails going from side to side, keeping their balance and strength. So you just need to be really careful with them. It's honestly, it sounds really scary and it sounds like something that's going to happen, but as long as you're handling them correctly, then it's not going to happen, and I wouldn't be concerned about it. So I hope that's answered all of your questions about gerbil tails. It's such a common question, and a few people have asked me to do a video on this, so hopefully that's answered all of your questions. And don't worry, honestly, just be really careful. I'd recommend checking out my handling gerbils video. That'll be linked in the description box and in the comments section, especially if you're going to or planning to own gerbils. Definitely check that out. So thank you for watching. Again, I hope it's helped you out, and I will see you all next time. Bye everyone.